This is San Diego News Daily.
I'm Marianne Kushi. Let's get right into your top local stories here. A former Christian high school teacher is expected to be sentenced today in El Cajon after pleading guilty to sexually abusing an underage girl. Kevin Conover admitted to 5 felony sex crime counts involving a victim who was just 7 years old when the abuse began. Prosecutors say the abuse took place between 2015 and 19, and the victim was not a student at the school. Conover is expected to receive a sentence of 20 years to life in state prison during this afternoon's hearing. A North Park cat owner thinks that he solved the mystery of his pet's disappearance, but we still don't know where that cat is. His cat vanished last Monday, and now he believes a hawk actually broke through the screen door in his apartment and then carried him off. The man says he came home from work that day and couldn't find his cat named Slick anywhere. He says security camera video shows what he believes is a hawk breaking through his screen door and then grabbing his cat, who was asleep on the floor. He says he had seen hawks in the neighborhood for a time, but didn't think much of it.
If it looks like the hawk is staying around, they are stalking your cat. So please keep the window shut.
During hot days especially, a lot of people are opening their doors and windows for ventilation, so we do have to remember that our pets may be able to get out, or vice versa. Something may be able to get inside.
No other such attacks have been reported. North Park neighbors say they often see those birds, though, hunting in a nearby canyon. The raw sewage that's flowing from the Tijuana River continues to be a problem for South Bay communities. Local leaders are saying it's not just a health concern, but also hurting the local economy. All this raw sewage has led to beach closures on both sides of the border, including Imperial Beach and Coronado and parts of Baja California. Now officials are studying the economic impact of those closures.
The fact that we have our beaches closed has a huge economic impact in our communities and the tourism sector. So these are less tourists that are not coming or that are spending less time in San Diego, potentially just going elsewhere because they don't have access to the beach. And then every other business that leverages those flows of people coming in and enjoying their time in San Diego are seeing less and less of that.
The first results of this economic study are expected to come out in October. The federal investigation continues into this really disturbing video that we first showed you last week of a young man appearing to assault a seal in La Jolla. So far, he hasn't been identified. Environmental activists are saying this renewed attention, though, to how people interact with the sea lions at the Cove, while city park rangers educate people to keep their distance. Enforcing federal marine mammal protection laws falls to NOAA. Activists hope the attention that this video has gotten will encourage visitors to respect the animals as well as their habitat. Meteorologist Brooke Martell joins us now with a look at this hot forecast.
Hey there and happy Friday. It is going to be a warm weekend. So here's what you need to know. We do have that heat advisory in effect through Sunday night for the coastline and an extreme heat warning also in place through Sunday evening for the valleys. That also goes for your mountain communities, and an extreme heat warning has now been extended through 8 p.m. Monday for the desert region. So taking a look at what we can expect for your Friday and what those daytime highs are shaping up to be, mid 70s to about the upper 70s up and down the coastline, but we do have some low 80s in the forecast for places like the downtown region, upper 80s to about the upper 90s over the inland valleys, maybe even some low 100s in there for today. We'll have 90s to the low 100s over the mountain communities, right around 115 over Borrego Springs for today as well. And here's a quick look of your weekend forecast again with those temperatures. So you can see max daytime highs at the coast from the 80s, upper 90s for Saturday, lower 90s by Sunday. Similar conditions for the mountains, but just hot over the desert region.
The future of an empty theater in North County remains up in the air. The renewed efforts to bring life back into this historic 99-year-old venue. And dozens of dogs have been rescued now from these overcrowded homes. Efforts now underway to get them ready for you to adopt them. That's coming up.
On January 22nd, I got a phone call from my daughter.
Rolling.
All right. She said, Mom, the water's already waist high. And we were all scrambling.
There's been 2 wildfires that have come through. We were able to watch NBC7, and we knew that as long as they were there, we were going to be okay.
We're going to be here. We're going to keep an eye on things.
Because of you guys, they acted.
This is the source of all of this neighborhood's problems.
Everything can be so unpredictable, and we rely on this coverage.
And that's a tornado warning.
This is San Diego News Daily.
I'm Marianne Cushy. Welcome back. In the North County, the Escondido Union School District is set to replace a former board member who's accused of trying to keep his job even after moving out of state. The board held a special meeting yesterday to discuss replacing Mark Olson. The district's teachers union says that Olson resigned from his Area 3 seat at least a month after he moved to Utah. Olson said that he remained in Escondido even after selling his home to work through the transition. But now the board is discussing appointing a replacement rather than holding a special election.
$250,000 to $400,000, depending on whether we do just mail-in or a hybrid. And that's a lot of money.
The school board plans to meet on this next month. In Carlsbad, there's a growing debate over what to do with this historic vacant theater. The 99-year-old Carlsbad Theater has been sitting empty now for years, and the city is looking for ways to save it. It's currently owned by a commercial property group and is on the market. If it sells for more than $3 million, though, it would need voter approval because of Prop H. Now, some neighbors are pushing to preserve it as a theater. The San Diego Humane Society, in the meantime, just took in dozens of dogs, all the Yorkies and huskies, who are in desperate need of new homes. The dogs were surrendered by 2 owners who were just simply overwhelmed. The Humane Society is still coordinating the surrender of up to 30 Yorkies. The dogs have been vaccinated and are being treated for fleas. They're also taking in 25 huskies from a homeowner facing eviction. And with shelters already overcrowded, the Humane Society says its upcoming NBC7 Clear the Shelters campaign could not come at a better time.
When you adopt an animal, you essentially make space for an animal like these Yorkies or Huskies who urgently need us. There are 900 pets who are ready for their homes today.
During this campaign, which starts tomorrow, adoption fees will be 50% off for all pets except horses. NBC7 meteorologist Brooke Martell will have a look at your weather right after this.
We are rolling. Your left, I'm sorry.
Let's do this.
Where do you get your information from?
Well, definitely start with the local news.
The reason why I love listening to local news like NBC, they give the facts.
California families could feel
they have a genuine interest, first as people and second as a news team.
Because this is their community too.
Sometimes the news isn't always fun. Bringing it to us every day in good and bad times is something that we rely on.
Nice to have you with us.
Here's a look at the heat risk map now that the entire county is under some sort of heat advisory or warning. We'll start with the coast. You can see that's the yellow coloring indicating minor heat risk. And we do have some of that over our inland valley communities, but we also start to see it increase to that moderate category in orange and also extending into the mountains. But once we get into the desert region, even parts of the higher elevations is when we start to see that major heat risk category. So some heat safety tips to keep in mind. I know that you already know these and we've been sharing them with you for the past few weeks actually. Stay hydrated, make sure the pets have fresh water and shade too, and take breaks in the shade or an AC as needed, and the peak hours to avoid 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Never leave children or pets in a vehicle. Now here's a look at the 10-day forecast. Staying warm, staying hot through the end of your weekend. You can see by Monday we back off a little bit with those temperatures, but it is going to be warm next week. That's definitely going to be the case over the mountain communities as well as for our desert region.
Pickleball is taking over the Gaslamp quarter for the next month. Urban Pickleball, as this is called, set up 13 courts on 5th Avenue right in the heart of downtown. Pickleball is the fastest growing game in the country with more than 24 million players. This is the second year the courts have popped up downtown. The games will keep going every Thursday night for the next 6 weeks. More coverage you count on at NBC7.com. Thanks for watching.